Welcome to AnyBoxing podcast with your boy JC,
Your boy Wanny, man.
and we back. We talking boxing. So we back, man. I think the way we was going to do it, we was gonna go lower to higher, right? Lower weights to higher weights to the bigger weights. So
I mean, we can do it how you got to set it right there. No, just like that, yeah, right there.
You know, all right. So we're gonna start off with the Frank Martin versus Shakur John.
I mean,
That's not going on anymore.
But we can still talk about, and please leave it in the comments. Who do y'all consider Frank Martin a duck for not taking this fight? Because it was,
how you feel about it? You feel like he's ducking, or do you? Because so for people that don't know, the reason this fight supposedly didn't happen is because I guess him and Derrick James in the Errol Spence camp are separating, and this fight that they took was to like kind of cash him out. Like, this is gonna be his biggest fight underneath them. They're gonna cash him out and they go their separate ways. But Frank claimed that he wanted more money, he needed more money, and all of a sudden, because he not getting the money that he want, he not taking the fight. And
they said
and they also said that he wasn't included in negotiation talks as well. Like, he didn't know what was being
wasn't
said,
included,
unaware of all that. So that's corny.
So they said he said he tweeted that he wasn't changing his trainer.
All right, so he's not splitting the camp.
It's just that he wasn't getting enough bread, and he also wasn't included in any of the negotiations. So, he wasn't notified about them happening. So,
I feel like
Derrick James, which is his manager and his trainer, he declined the fight.
So Derrick James declined.
Yeah, so it's not much of a duck on Frank Martin,
That's how I feel.
but it's at the end of the day,
It
the
don't
people
look
that
that
work
bad.
for you is Team Frank Martin.
Right.
So
Exactly.
you didn't duck, but Team
Frank Martin ducked. Team
So-
Frank Martin ducked. The whole team. Yeah, you gotta take it up. I mean, at the end of the day, that you responsible for your camp too. Cause
But then I don't know though, because it can't be a duck, because the whole thing, what people don't understand is, people talk about what Floyd did, but the one thing that Floyd made me notice was, you fight people when you ready, and when you feel what I'm saying?
when you want to fight.
When
Yeah,
you wanna
no, that's
fight.
definitely true. Because with the Pacquiao John,
Yeah.
he fought Pacquiao when it was time to fight Pacquiao.
But then it was also the fact that I feel like sometimes when it probably not Pacquiao, but somebody, he was like, yeah, I'm not ready
To fight him.
to
yet.
fight
Right,
him yet.
I
Like,
feel
he's
you.
gonna get over on me, so I gotta wait and learn a little bit more and practice this a little bit more. And he actually, and then people don't understand it took so long because he seen something in Pacquiao that was had the possibility of beating him.
And knocking him out, too.
And knocking
You gotta
him out,
remember that,
possibly,
'cause
you
he
feel
was
what I'm
strong for his size, and everybody was like, he got knockout power, knockout king at that
Yeah,
weight.
exactly.
Like, he was supposed to be knockout boy at that weight. Like, that was what he was doing.
So he seen something, and it went to like, all right, it took that long for him to take care of that, so
Right,
it won't
that
be a
fight,
factor
yeah.
no more. You feel what I'm saying? So then he could gain the confidence to take the fight. Me personally, I believe in that halfway believe in the Roy Jones statement when he was like, yeah, if they said you the top dog and you in my division, you gotta come see me. You got a belt, you really gotta come see me. Everybody gotta come see me. And if I'm not supposed to beat you, I'm gonna figure out how to still beat you.
Right.
You feel what I'm saying?
I got a question for you. So, with this whole situation, Frank Martin been saying he wanted to fight one of the top dogs, one of them, any of them.
Right.
He been calling them out, any of them that he can fight, because he not up there yet as far as popularity and a household name wise or whatever. So he know taking one of these fights could put him up in that weight class, in that class of talent. And the question is, do you think, is it, because you're a fighter, can fighters force the issue? Can they be like, no, I'm fighting, boy. I know y'all don't want to fight, boy. Y'all think I'm not ready to fight, boy.
Yeah, because they the fighter. They controlling everything. Fighters got more control than people think, and fighters got more control than the fighters think. But when it comes to the assets of like purses and money and all that, they don't got that much control.
Right.
You know how things go. And sometimes that they got control of taking a fight when fights is presented to them. But as far as making a fight happen, you feel what I'm saying? Like it's a different.
Like we're actually making it happen.
Yeah, like they like I want to fight him, but it's not already paperwork already.
Yeah, already in process.
No, it's gonna take time. Like you feel what I'm saying? You gotta fight through stuff. But if they got a paperwork already processed and they present it to you, like here's the contract, sign it if you want to take it. If not, flag it on.
So main question being like,
because it's your signature that got to be on it, not your team.
So he could have fought him.
He could have still fought him. He could have fought him. He could have been like, nah.
If he really wanted to, but he wanted his credit.
You know, it's a lot on stake.
And this could bring up a good topic that I kind of want to talk about too. That kind of go into Bud and Spence part 2. Yeah. And we can kind of go right into that because pricing yourself out, is that like I've seen people kind of price themselves out, and not saying that that Bud is scared of Earl Spence, but more so like I feel like he don't really want to fight him. I don't think he want to fight him anymore because he beat him the first time and it was kind of like easy for him to beat him the first time. So I think he kind of like don't really want to take that fight. He's looking for something better or something more challenging because he's on his way out too. He mentioned it in the post interview. So like, do you think this new is this a new tactic? People seem to be pricing themselves out of certain jokes. Even Regis, who Devin's supposed to be fighting soon, people price themselves out of Regis. Like they're not trying to fight Regis, so it'd be like one of them things like I need more money, or they just straight ducking ball. Like I don't know what it's called. But the overpricing themselves and pricing themselves out, like Devin and Shakur had a situation like that too, where he like.
I feel like the difference between Devin and Shakur is Devin underpaid Shakur.
Right. He told him pretty much you can't afford to fight me, pretty much.
And if you can, this is how much you can afford.
Right. This is what you gonna take.
So with Terrence whole thing was he's worth more than anybody ever gave him credit for being worth more.
I agree because I'm one of the people who didn't give him the credit when it was due. I admit it. You mean on camera? I admit it, y'all. You feel me? I knew he was nice. I knew he was nice. I knew he was nice. But I didn't think he was over Earl Spence, and obviously he's over Earl Spence. Hurts my heart to say that, but obviously he outclassed that man that night.
It was a shutout.
I've never seen nothing like that before. I've never seen a fight like that before.
But it goes to say that people still not trying to give him his worth because.
So you think it's more respecting, like?
I feel like not even just that. This is how much I've been saying I've been worth this entire time. Right. Now that I've broke a record that nobody has ever done, I've unified all the belts. I'm undisputed and lightweight. I did both. Nobody has ever got all the belts and became undisputed champion twice in a row. The only other person that's ever done it in boxing is a woman. That's Clarissa Shields.
Right.
So when it comes to that, I feel like he worth whatever dollar he say because he's now the A side. He wasn't the A side at first because Earl had 3 belts versus his 1. Earl was the favorite. People favored the way Earl fight more. People say Earl resume was better. Earl was the favorite. He was the most viewed to be the most likely to win. So now you've seen the type of ass whooping that. Not just that he won, it was an ass whooping. It was an
ass whooping.
With all respect to Earl Spence.
Right, that's my dog. I still want to support you. Right, exactly. So,
but he got his ass whooped. You feel what I'm saying? So that wasn't just no loss, no close fight. And in reality, he don't even deserve his rematch because it wasn't a close fight. It wasn't.
That's how I feel.
It was. He got his ass whooped.
Bud feel like It's no point in doing this.
But it's a pride thing, a respect thing, and he got a
contract. Y'all signed a contract for a rematch. It was in a contract.
And then he got,
I honor that.
Bud he relinquished the belt, so now he really don't gotta honor it.
I feel you.
Because he don't got none of the belts.
He relinquished the belt?
So, yeah, because his plan was to move up to 154 to fight Charlo after this joint. After that fight with Canelo.
So I seen one of the boys you put me onto, one of his podcasts, Fanon.
Shout out Fanon, the old head, yes sir.
He pretty much said that with the way Bud is carrying on, he pretty much put himself in a position where he can't fight anybody. The Bud Spence 2 don't seem interesting to him. The Canelo and Charlo fight, if Canelo wins that fight, do you think Canelo takes the fight with Bud, or you think he does something else? Because if Charlo don't win, I don't think Canelo goes and fights Bud. I don't know if he's interested in fighting Bud. He's expressed that he wasn't too interested in fighting Bud. I don't know if he fights Bud. If he doesn't fight Bud, then who Bud gonna fight?
I feel like it's an excuse for Charlo not to fight Bud, win, lose, or draw, because Bud is not too focused on the win, lose, or draw. He still wants to fight Charlo because words that came out of Charlo's mouth. And he also want to fight Canelo, win, lose, or draw, because if Charlo lose to Canelo and then Bud beat him, I don't gotta fight Charlo. My point is proven.
Respect.
Because he don't want to fight me or whatever. He ain't gotta go through the hassle and try to make that fight happen. And then if Charlo win against Canelo,
that's gonna be the ultimate
then
fight.
Bud fight Canelo still, because Charlo on his high horse. It's like, now I'm your man. It's like, I beat the top dog of the heavy nigga, the big guys.
Right.
For the longest, Canelo been on the top of the big boys for the last 10 years.
Right, for real.
So it's like, I beat him. Now you gotta fight me, because you beat him too. Now it was only us two.
You think Charlo don't want to fight Bud?
Charlo don't want to fight, but I feel like Charlo is doing what he's saying everybody's doing to him for taking this Canelo fight, because he going up 2 weight classes.
Yeah.
And you feel me, doubting him, because that's a big jump.
That is a big jump.
But Floyd did it, Pernell Whitaker did it, Bud did it before. He went from 130, or was it 135 or 140, one of the two, to 147.
He was on 135 and 247.
And you feel me, he did that real quick, got in, got out, and then went up to the big boys and did his thing. So
we talking about it already, so we might as well transition straight into it. Charlo versus Canelo.
I got Charlo.
You got Charlo. Tell me why you got Charlo. I don't know who to get. I'm gonna just keep it a being with y'all. I don't know, so I'm gonna let you explain why you feel like you got Charlo. Because I watched Charlo, I watched Canelo.
If we really think about
how you feel about Charlo boxing? Period. Just what's your opinion?
I got the utmost respect for both of the Charlos boxing and skill. I feel like people come at them a lot because they don't like them.
I do too. I don't think
there's how they carry it
wrong with their boxing.
So that's one thing, but I feel like both of them have most of them most respectful boxing styles or presence in the game right now.
Mm-hmm.
If Charlo win, he's now the second person to make history as far as a male boxer to be undisputed twice. So
and he had both belts and both
all weight classes, all the belts.
So you don't what do you think? How do you think he going? If he wins, how do you think he wins? He wins knockout. He outboxes him. He outbrawls him. How do you think he wins? Because I feel like I watched Jamel, and I feel like Jamel get hit a little bit too much, and I don't know if he can take a lot of Canelo hits.
I feel like he's real durable. He's not like a small, timid guy. He's not durable. His only loss was probably to Tony Harrison. Mm-hmm. And then he came back and revenged that.
He got that.
And it was a respectable Tony Harrison. Tony Harrison
not bad.
Just lost to Tim Tszyu, you feel me? And I understand, you know, it was like a second loss, which where it seemed like he just gave up in the fight, but Tony Harrison is definitely a respectable win. And what else? What do you also
The Tony Harrison fight, that's one of them joints where I say I feel like he took too many hits.
And Rosario, after Rosario beat
he beat the hell out of Rosario though. He beat the hell out of that man. That was a good joke because Rosario, he's if you never seen him fight, he's a real forward fighter, a lot of pressure on you, Mexican style fighting, toe to toe, and he a puncher. He, like you said, he's a puncher.
Also, Rosario is the one who beat Julian Williams from Philly.
Mm-hmm. He did.
For all the belts. That's when Julian.
Who beat him for the belts? Somebody beat him.
What's the name? Did Jamel?
Oh, that was Jamel who beat him for the.
Jamel beat him, and look, he took fights out of the country. He took another Erickson Lubin fought him. Lubin's a great fighter too, but he fought him, and then he's been winning all in it's all in Puerto Rico. You see, Dominican Republic.
Overseas.
You feel what I'm saying? Then once he get back in the States, he lose again to Brian.
Right.
So, but I feel like
in the Castillo fight.
Yeah, the Castillo fight.
Draw that he got.
I don't feel like that was even a draw. I feel like he won that. It was a close draw.
It was close though.
And
again, these punchers. I don't know if he trying to prove a point that he can stand toe to toe with the punchers, but he do.
But that's his style, boxer puncher. You feel me?
He do take a lot of hits. And I don't know if you can brawl out that thing with Canelo. I wouldn't be brawling that joint out with Canelo. How do you feel about Canelo right now in this point in his career? Do you feel like he reached the point where he on his decline? You think that's why you think Jamel can get him right now because he's like on his decline? He not in his prime anymore, or do you feel like Canelo can still, you know what I mean, win belts and compete? Like. The difference between him and Triple G was evident. Like, he's still around.
Triple G is like older than him, though.
That's true. That's super true. He's definitely way older. I'm not like way older. He's like way older than him. He is like way older than him. That's definitely.
And then also Triple G.
I love Triple G, by the way. That's one of my favorites too. I thought he could have. I mean, the second joint that they fought, I thought he could have won that joint.
I feel like Triple G should have won.
Triple G
could have won.
You could have had one. If you tried a little harder, you could have had one. That third joint was a wash.
I also feel like,
but Canelo's sharp. You mean? I ain't seen nobody make him look like how Floyd made him look ever.
And I feel like this Bivol.
Bivol, yeah.
Bivol just beat him, yeah.
Yeah, Bivol. I can't forget about Bivol. And I just watched that joint about homies too. And Canelo just took a lot of hits. He was giving hits, but he just took a lot of hits. Too many for us and for the judges. And one thing about Canelo, everybody knows that joint go to decision, Canelo probably gonna win. Like, that's just how it go. So, like, for it to go to decision, him to lose.
I feel like Charlo got it. I feel like Charlo got what is definitely a new addition to.
You don't think he got to knock him out? You think he can win?
Yeah, I feel like he can box him. Yeah, I feel like he can box him. I mean,
I think that's the way that he does win. If he wins by decision, it's because he outboxed Canelo.
I feel like he outboxed.
I feel like he can outbox Canelo. But that's the only way I think he can win.
He just gotta set traps and make him uncomfortable, make Canelo fight his fight, and don't fall into Canelo's traps, which Canelo's good at. If anybody, Pete, we real good at making you fall into his traps and stuff like that. So I
think he got knocked this man out by the 6th round. Because you know Canelo turned that shit up by the 6th round.
When was the last time you seen or heard Canelo getting knocked out? Knocked down. Nigga never been knocked down. He been pro since he was 15. Never been knocked down.
Knocked down, bro.
So
even with Bivol.
Yeah, he just got his ass whooped.
Yeah, that's all. Right, exactly.
Not really even a bad ass.
Not really a bad ass one at all.
He got outworked. So
yeah, for real.
You know.
He just thought it was sweet up there, and it was not sweet up there.
But then, but then it goes to show the difference for everything with that, man. But I got Charlo. I think Charlo gonna do it, man.
I think I'm gonna because I gotta give y'all a prediction. I'm gonna go with Canelo. My brain telling me Canelo. My heart telling me Charlo. But my brain telling me Canelo, and I'm gonna go with my brain.
My mind let me know. My body is telling me.
Cause I ain't never see Canelo, man. Not in his own weight class, man. Not in his own weight class. That's the weight class that he undisputed in. He run that weight class ever since he stepped in that
I
weight
feel
class.
like, man, that's the name of the game, man. Somebody always gets to get the crown. Just like he overthrown somebody. Yeah, it's his turn, man. You know, Charlo, he coming for that. And
I would love to see it, though. Don't get me wrong. I would love to see it, though.
Also, put this in the comments, man. Who y'all got?
Yeah, who y'all got? Let us know who y'all got in the comments.
Yes. Derek James.
Since we talked about Frank Martin, since we talked about
Charlo,
you feel me?
Their trainer, the mastermind behind it all, of Ryan Garcia, Charlo,
Earl
Spence,
and
Frank Martin, and also what's his name? Anthony Joshua.
Oh, Anthony Joshua. You're right, Anthony Joshua.
Has now been, I feel like, has he been voted trainer of the year?
One time, yeah, he won it one time.
And he's in the spectrum of this year, right?
Yeah, and they talking about it this year.
I feel like, yeah, he can definitely do that, but I feel like it boosts his rate if
Charlo got win.
Charlo win.
Because if he lose, I feel like the judges is gonna be
after that Frank Martin win, which was skeptical, people feel like he didn't look as good. Which it was just him, being challenged.
Who is Terrence Crawford's trainer? Bomac. They're talking about Bomac. How do you feel about Bomac versus Derek James?
I wouldn't be mad at Bomac. Every time somebody get in Bomac hands,
great stuff, man.
Yeah, he be doing to him. I don't know if he got free, but free Bomac, man. They say he got booked for carrying a weapon. Free Bo Measy, you feel me, Big Mac. Free my old head.
Free OG. Damn, Bomac, you got caught for the jammer? Cool, bro. Damn. But yeah, I mean, I still got Derek James over Bomac. I mean, I feel like we can give him credit for the Bud win, but also you gotta know Bud is special. That's like having Michael Jordan. That's like having LeBron James. Phil Jackson is Phil Jackson, but he also had Kobe, and he also had Michael Jordan. So it's like, and Shaq. So how was you not going to win rings? One of them type of situations. You feel me? As far as Derek James, I feel like the fighters that he had for a long time, and we watched them grow from one stage of their career to a better stage in their career. Like, I actually watched his fighters start at one level of boxing where they only focused on one thing, to actually being multi-dimensional besides Earl, you feel me? Earl, but besides Earl, you feel me? But like with Charlo, Charlo gets better in every fight. And I feel like you got to put that up to training too. That's a part of training too. He gets better in every fight. I can't lie. That's why I don't think he's going to get really beat the hell up in this fight. I think it's going to be a very close fight. This is not a watch or anything. This is not easy for Canelo. Canelo not playing. If he don't bring his A game, he going to lose. That's just flat out. If he got to be the best version of himself to win this fight. That's
fact. But I feel like Derek James or Bomac win, I wouldn't be mad at either one of those things. But now that speaking of, Bomac, Terrence Crawford, and Derek James, Earl Spence, right? Now that Terrence Crawford has relinquished most of the belts, if not all of them, because he planned or expects to go to 154, but he did accept the rematch clause, but at 147, which is confusing.
I thought they went, because Bud wants it, not Bud. Crawford won. Spence wants this joint at 154.
154. And Crawford wants it at 147.
Yeah, I thought they were
but now it's speculations of who's going to fight for the vacant belts, or who's going to get awarded the vacant belts.
And this is 147, right?
Yep. And people got speculation that Teofimo is going to move up. Yep. And the number one candidate for anybody that's to get relinquish any belts of any sort, of at least one, or if not all of them, would be Boots, because Boots is definitely the third in line for them Jones after Bud and Errol was.
He's definitely a mandatory. He would have been named mandatory, but
everybody just got this, fantasy fight
you got
possibility, or Teofimo versus Boots for a vacant belt.
You got Teofimo versus Keith Thurman, people want to see that.
I don't think Keith is going to be. I don't think Keith going to take that fight.
How you feel about Keith Thurman?
Because,
I don't like him. I thought he was duck. I thought he was ducking Earl. I still think he was ducking Earl. He was ducking Earl, then he got knocked out by Pacquiao. That's what you get.
I don't like Keith Thurman either. I feel like he a duck too.
I hate that man, bro. I don't hate nobody, but as an aspect of what he do, how he go about his boxing career.
Yeah,
I don't like how he
Keith Thurman thing either.
He snatched the belts and started running.
And then he just keep other fighters' name in his mouth, but don't take the fight.
He talk a lot of crazy stuff. That's why I don't like him the most, because it's like yep. Listen, hold on. Ryan Garcia, I thought he was the same way. I thought it was yep. He took the Gervonta Davis fight. He took it. I thought he would never take that fight. I was one of the people who thought he would never take that fight. I thought he would just be talking, ducking. But he actually took that fight.
I knew he was going to take that fight, but I also knew he was going to get that ass knocked out.
I did too. But he took the fight because I think he knew he was going to get his ass knocked out too. He knew he was going to lose that fight too because he's a little nervous. So the fact that he took it anyway, all respect to him. And he one of the people that also want to move up and fight for the welterweight belts, for the 147 belts. Because he want to throw his hat in the ring. He been training with Floyd. So that's a little mixy. But it's good for me as a fan because I'm a fan of Boots. And because I'm a fan of Boots and I feel like Boots hasn't got anybody on his resume yet because nobody really want to fight him, this is great because he can slide in there and fight a name and more people will know who he is for real. Because people know who he is. If you know boxing, you know who he is. Because his last fight was actually something crazy. He was doing a little showboating in the joint. That joint looked crazy, like an anime. But he needs to fight somebody. He needs somebody on his resume. And God's not trying to fight him because he high risk, low reward, bro. That's really what it get down to. It's a lot of high risk, low reward type people in boxing right now, and he one of them. And
yeah,
it's just a weird place to be in, bro. It's just a weird place to be in, man. I feel like somebody else was in his position too. I just can't remember. I wanted to bring this up. I should have wrote it down. But I was looking at somebody else too, and I'm like, damn, he like Boots. Like nobody really trying to fight him for real. Like,
it's
somebody else I was thinking about too. Nobody trying to fight him. Oh, Shakur. It's probably Shakur I was thinking about. Like
nobody gotta be.
Nobody really trying to fight Shakur neither. Like Shakur problem, and everybody know he high risk, low reward. Like he just hopped in a higher weight class with all the names in there because he needed to fight somebody with a name. Just one person. Cause you seen with Crawford, bro. You fight one person with a name, everybody know who you are. You do what you're supposed to do in that fight. You become a household name. You feel me? And you be able to demand the money that you want, the purses that you want. You the A side. You get all the stuff that you want. So like that's what Shakur and Boots is looking for. And listen, bro, Boots is too scary, bro. Like I don't think nobody really trying to fight him for real. Like I said, it's high risk, low reward. You can lose a Boots fight. Like any champion, they looking at him like I can possibly lose that fight. Right, exactly. I can possibly lose that joint. So it's like, do you think Boots ever gonna find an opponent, or he gonna have to just move up and wait and find and fight up and wait and grab one of their belts, like one of those vacant belts in a higher weight class? Who, if I can just pull it up, it's one of those weight classes that don't really got nobody in it. Boxing rankings, it got like not nobody in it, but it's like the people that in it are at a even rating. If you ask me, like those are even fighters, and it's like middleweight maybe, or something like that, where it's like kind of up there. It is middleweight that I'm thinking about. Middleweight that I'm thinking about. So, you think Boots should move up somewhere up there?
Not yet, till you get them belts, lock that down. He too close. He too close. You see what I'm saying? Look. Look, you see what I'm saying? So, he there in line.
Yeah, right there.
You feel me? I was looking at the pictures.
He definitely got the...
Well, he's second for it because he's a champion first. Second
exactly.
line, then it's Jermaine Ortiz, then Stanionis. And these two don't really want to fight Boots because they've been supposed to do that.
But they also too early in their career. Yeah. Which is crazy because he had 31 fights. Mm-hmm. And nobody still want to fight him.
But then it's confusing because when you really look at it, they say he got 31 fights, right? And he got more fights than Earl.
Yeah.
And they saying he don't got enough experience.
Because they keep looking at his resume like.
They keep looking at his age. He 24. He 26, bro. Early 30.
Listen, if you got the fights under your belt, bro, you got the experience. That's how I feel. And I know I ain't nobody. I'm just saying. If you got and I feel like because Spence, the top two, Spence and Crawford gonna move up. You think he should just stay in this weight class and just take it over? You don't think he's still gonna be susceptible to that same old criticism like, oh, you ain't fighting nobody? Because if Crawford leaves and Spence leaves, you think he'd get credit for fighting Ortiz Jr., Stanley Onlis, anybody like this, Crawley? Because Crawley alright, he from Canada. He alright. Like, that's pretty much all I got. That's who I like for real. Ellis is okay. I watched him fight a couple fights. He's okay. These two the ones in this weight class. Yeah. If these two leave, like if Spence leave and Crawford leave, then all you got is Ortiz, Stanley Onlis. Like, that's really all you got. And I don't know if those names, because I feel like he fought guys like these before, and they still not giving him the credit. It's like, damn, he gonna have to move up here. And maybe beat up Charlo or somebody.
Yeah, I don't know.
He could beat up Smith. Everybody get their name off of Smith.
I don't even know how Liam Smith is ranked number 2. How is he ranked
top stepping stone?
How is he ranked above Fondor and Lubin?
Maybe just because he fight people. I mean, he loses against the people he fight. But he fight names. He got names. Like,
Lubin is better than him.
I agree. They don't got his
Chris. No, he do.
Because
you TKO'd him.
He fucked him up. That shit was bad.
Well, I think he just outboxed him. I'm not sure.
No, he was dicking him. Like, yeah. I mean, outboxed. Yeah, for sure he outboxed him, but he really beat him up. Like, he definitely beat him up in that jump. But yeah, I don't know. I think he gotta move up. Only for him to get in there because people running. You're gonna have to just run into him. I mean, if he get out his weight class, then obviously there's nothing he can do. I wouldn't say go the Roy Jones route. Roy Jones went up till he couldn't go up no more and got knocked out. But
yeah,
I wouldn't say do that. But I definitely he can move up one. If he down where he at now, most people come down in weight. So he probably walk around at middleweight, at super welterweight anyway, middleweight anyway. He probably walk around like that or something.
Good man.
He's up to him.
Let's finish out the rest of these chapters, man.
But yeah, Boots, man, look out for Boots. If you haven't seen him fight, watch him fight, bro.
And then anybody interested in that Boots Teofimo imaginary fight, I got Boots from a long shot.
Speaking, we'll talk about it later. I want to know how you feel about Teofimo because Teofimo had a good win against.
That's it. Too emotional.
Yeah, he had a good win. Who he just fight?
I forgot the ball.
Oh my God!
Josh
Taylor. Yeah, Josh Taylor.
Josh Taylor.
He just beat up Josh Taylor. He looked real good in that joint. He looked real athletic. They was talking about how his dad was talking about how when they became pro, he was holding his son back a little bit because of the stuff that he was trying to do from the amateurs. He was like, I don't think it's going to work in the pros. But he said in that fight, he just let him go. He's like, you just do whatever you need to do. Fight how you used to fight. And he looked
Let's skip this.
Real athletic, though.
We'll talk about Anthony Joshua.
No, we don't got to talk about him, but I do want to talk about the heavyweights in general. Just the heavyweights.
Yeah, so we can
yeah.
To close it out, we're going to leave it
with the big guys.
With the big guys, I feel like the heavyweights probably look as good as they did almost at the 90s. Not as good because the fighters were way better, way different.
They don't fight enough.
Physical.
They just look as good, but they don't fight enough. They do look as good. I feel like on the way is
I feel like as far as the last shit, Usyk, I feel like he didn't pay nobody off, but I feel like that wasn't a low blow. He lost. He is supposed to be a new champion. I feel like.
So you think the Bulls is?
Yeah, I feel like he won that.
Would you think? All right, so for y'all who don't know, there's been talks in the works of them trying to start some type of heavyweight tournament where Anthony Joshua and Deontay Wilder will fight. And then, or we got Deontay Wilder, we got Anthony Joshua, we got Tyson Fury, and we got Usyk. And it's supposed to be 2 fights. And then the losers of those fights fight each other, and the winner of those fights fight each other. They want Usyk and Fury to fight. I don't know if Fury is even interested in something like that because he at the end of his career or towards the end of his career. He came back to win the belts. So So that's something that people don't understand. He came back to win the belts. People didn't even think he was gonna box again, so he came back to win the belt. So he really at the end of his career. I don't know if he's interested in the tournament, but if he is interested in the tournament, do you think the boys? I hope I'm saying his name.
No, Fury beats him.
At that joint.
Fury beats him.
What about Deontay? Beats him too.
Deontay beats him too. Yeah,
so he's there's too much going on.
Man. Yeah, ready for that. You feel me?
So we got Joshua. We got Joshua versus Deontay. How you feel about that? I've been wanting that fight for years. Now I don't even care. I'm not
gonna lie. I gotta see him fight, bro.
Yeah.
I just gotta see the fight happen. I wouldn't even put a prediction on that, man, because
they both don't look like how they came out.
Yeah, they both not too much good boxers. They both really big and muscular and brolic like. They not really got a boxer build. They real brolic like.
Bodybuilder looking type balls.
So if anybody, I got my best bets on the whole heavyweight division. It's Anderson, Big Baby.
How you feel about him?
That's
you like him?
Yeah, I fuck with him. I
think he comes by storm?
Yeah, he better take over that division, man.
I want to see him box more. He had no competition. He don't got no reason to box. That's why I don't think he boxes as much as he could. But cause the people he fought, it's like one of them joints where it's just like he starts all kind of boxing and then he's just like they not even worth my time to really try to outbox these boys. And he just start beating the shit out of them. But you haven't seen him fight. Also watch him fight. He's a monster, and I would love to see him on top too, bro. Because it's been a while since we had an American heavyweight champion. Deontay had that joint for a hot second and then lost it. So I want to see another American champion, y'all. Yeah. I want to see another American champion, bro. I'm tired of all these foreigners taking our belts and going overseas with these joints. Klitschko's done took it, and we ain't never get it back, bro.
But then I was over, bro.
It was over after Klitschko's. The Klitschko's took it, and that shit was over.
He had it for like 10 years.
10 years. What's his name beat him? Fury beat him.
Anthony Joshua.
Anthony Joshua beat one too, right? Yeah.
But the heavyweight division gonna be good.
So yeah, we'll keep it on the post. They got talks with Anthony Joshua versus Deontay Wilder, and I think that is going to be a good fight.
Yeah, that's supposed to be a nice fight.
Despite all the
Joshua
beat this, both of them.
If Joshua beat this, he fight Fury next. That's part of the contract.
Yeah, that's part of the contract, right?
The first one was Hell Youngest.
He beat the hell out of him.
Yeah, so
that shit was easy work. After Deontay just beat him, that was all easy work. So we want to look out for that. I'm looking for another. Listen, if this is redemption for Deontay Wilder to come back, bro, I'm all for it because I miss that man, bro.
I mean, this is the time of redemption, man.
He was on fire, bro.
Him, Spence, gotta redeem himself.
Listen,
the whole Derrick James
gotta redeem themselves. No, for real, bro.
He got out of the last 2-3 fighters. He like 1-2 because Anthony Joshua won. I think he won in 1-1 because we can't count.
I wouldn't count that.
We can't. No, I counted.
Somebody pulled out. He wasn't supposed to.
Anthony Joshua.
Dylan White, right? He was supposed to fight, right?
Yeah, but Anthony. No, he beat Dylan White. But I think he did, or he did fight. It just didn't happen. But
he was on the steroids and shit.
So I feel like I can't count the Ryan Garcia loss to Tank because he wasn't under Derrick James then, but. That's still a losing fighter that you got in your camp, so or not a losing because he has a winning record, like a really hell of a record. Only one loss, but he just came off of a loss. But as far as
that was the first real fighter he fought.
Yeah, Fonseca was alright and a couple other people, but it was like
the boy he fought the boy that dropped him, the European boy.
Luke Campbell.
Yeah,
Luke Campbell
was one of the best.
Was always like. If you would say a top 10 in realistic in boxing, a top 10, Luke Campbell was always ranked number 11 or 12. He never got into the top 10 of his division. He never physically, if you skill-wise aren't rated in the top 10, you could, in real life, just beat the top 10 and be like, I don't got the skill, but I beat the top 10, so now I'm top 10. Because I can't lose. But he has not beat nobody. So he's just like the rest of the journey, man. Just getting the ass whooped.
Stepping stone ball. You feel me? And we're going to pretty much wrap it up with that. Next time we come on this joint, we're definitely going to be reacting to the Charlo and Canelo fight because that goes on next weekend. So y'all definitely going to hear about that next episode. What else we going to talk about? We're going to see if the Bud Spence 2 actually happens. You feel me? We're going to see what's going on with the welterweights and those belts, and if Boots be able to actually get a fight. Is somebody actually going to fight my man? Because it's a lot of talking. We ain't even talk about Devin Haney in the Regis fight. Hopefully that happens. There's still talks about that. It's still up in the air, that fight kind of still up in the air.
Yeah, and I got Regis.
Weird. You got Regis?
Love Devin, but I got Regis.
I would love to see it. This is going to be a test for Devin. We're going to talk about that next episode.
Next episode, man.
But that's a test. But
it's
thanks
your
for kicking
boy
with us.
Wanny.
JC, you feel me? This was AnyBoxing Podcast, and thanks for kicking it with us. That was great.
Woo! Yeah, got some time in for that one.
Definitely got some time.